everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble the Ritchie High-Pressure Valve Assembly, part number 18832. If you were to order this, you will notice that it does not come assembled from the factory and that you will need to assemble it once it arrives. A lot of this is due to the fact that they do not want it to break in transit when they ship it to you, and so you will need to assemble it once it arrives. And this is how it comes with all of these pieces. So you will see that it has a cam, which is here, and then a thumb screw that goes with the cam, 2 pins, a valve rubber, which is part of package 15152. It will have a valve rubber retainer. This is a new style valve, a float arm, and then the float itself. All of these pieces will come together and create your new valve assembly. This high pressure valve assembly was designed because there was a little back history on why this was designed. In some states like Kentucky and Tennessee, the water pressures in that area started to exceed what the Ritchie valves could handle. The highest water pressure that the standard Ritchie valves could handle was up to 80 psi, and this will handle quite a bit more, over 100 psi, which will accommodate more city waters, city water pressures, and those type of situations where you typically would have had to place a pressure regulator on the line. So this will help accommodate those high pressure situations. But of course, assembly is required. So I do want to point out that the float here, if you can see that, has a notch where you will need to put the valve arm. There's 2 different ways that you can install this. With the facing this way here, if you were to install it here, this is intended when the float location is more than 2.5 inches below the valve body. And then if you flip it this way and attach the float arm this way, then this is where the float location is less than 2.5 inches below the valve body. So less this way, more this way. So, and then here is the float arm. And you will notice that it's slanted here. That is the portion that gets closest to the float. So you will notice that you just snap it in here, just like that, and it's attached. And again, the way that I've positioned it here is the application with the float location is more than 2.5 inches below the valve body. So from there, you're going to want to assemble the rest of the pieces. So I'm going to start here with the cam. This cam will attach the float to the valve body itself. And you will need to insert the thumb screw here. The thumb screw will regulate the water level in your waterer. And to adjust it, you either move the screw up or down. And this right here is where it's going to be attached. The thumb screw will move the float up or down to help you regulate the water level in your waterer. So that is how you adjust it. Very, very simple to do. So now we will need to attach the float arm to the cam. And you would align these right here, these holes right here. And then with the pin, you will put the pin right through, and the pin will secure these 2 pieces together. So align those holes. And now I will let you know that this is not easy to do initially. So you can see I inserted it here just by pushing it all the way through. The first time you do this, it will be a little tough. It's tight, and because these are new pieces, so just keep in mind it will be somewhat tough to push all the way through. So with that done, you want to take the valve rubber retainer. Now please notice, I don't know if you can see this here, and I'll show you the next step. You will want to put the valve rubber inside the valve rubber retainer. Note on the side of the valve rubber retainer that there's a little notch. This is intended to help you remove the valve rubber should you ever need to replace it. It just makes accessing this piece easier. You want to make sure that the valve rubber is flush and that it's not slanted or sitting up on one side, because that will prevent the water from shutting off. It will prevent it from having a very good seal. So make sure you take care to have that valve rubber sitting flush right inside that valve rubber retainer. From here, you will want to put this valve rubber retainer down into the valve. This seals the water off, so having the valve rubber face down like that is how you want to install that valve rubber retainer. This is where you want to attach the valve to the cam. And again, you line up these holes. You can see right there, these little arms is what's going to help regulate the water level and turn the valve on and off as needed. So when you're positioning the valve, you want the area that will screw into the bulkhead fitting or the fitting that attaches to the side of your water away from the float. And then you will need to align these holes and insert the pin. Again, just like when attaching the float arm to the cam, it's going to be a little difficult the first time you do this because they are newer pieces. So just apply a lot of pressure and it will eventually go through all the way to the other end, right there. From there, you just install the new system into your waterer. Again, it will handle higher water pressures for your situation. If you need to adjust, you may have to regulate this or watch this a little bit throughout the day to make sure that you have the water level where you want it. And again, you simply turn this thumb screw here to adjust the water level up or down. If you continue to notice leaking once you installed this higher pressure valve, you may need a pressure regulator on the water line. We do sell those in our store that come with attachments and fittings that will go directly into the hoses with the Ritchie waterers. Most Ritchie waterers that use this type of valve will have a 5/8 inch rubber hose, and the pressure regulators will go right into that line, and that will help maintain a consistent and standard water pressure. It's less wear and tear on your valve. It's less wear and tear on the system as a whole. And again, you can get those in our store. If you have any other questions or would like to learn more about Ritchie products, visit us at PeteCoSupply.com or give us a call at 800-373-5834. Don't forget to like us down below and watch all of our helpful tutorials on all of our products. We'll be adding more, so again, like us below. Thank you.